Hey guys, welcome back to Cheryl K's Cooking Diaries. This evening we are going to be making something really easy, and it is my egg salad. So give me just a minute and I'm going to show you how I make mine. Okay guys, here we go. Alright, so I boiled 10 large eggs. I boiled them for about 12 minutes. Then when they got done boiling, I set them aside on the stove. I put a lid over my pot, and I let them rest for 5 minutes. And then after that, I took me a bowl. I dumped me a whole tray of ice cubes in my bowl, and I sprinkled some salt in there. And then I took my eggs out of my pot and transferred them over into my cold ice water. So you want to fill this up, your bowl up, to make sure your eggs is covered. But I use a tray of ice, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, when you put your eggs in ice cold water like that, that shell will come off a lot easier than if you didn't. And I put a little salt in there because the salt will make it even better and will help. Anyway, I'm getting ready to peel these, and then we're going to move on to the next step. And a strainer over here in my sink. So when I get these peeled, I'm just going to transfer them over there, and I'm going to wash them off before we go any further. So I'm just going to show you what I'm talking about, how easy the peel comes off. Shake that water off. I'm just going to tap it on my counter. I kind of turn mine all the way around, and this is what I'm going to do. Y'all can see this. Let me move you this way just a little bit because my trash can's right here. All right. I just start peeling it, and I try to get under the membrane, because when you can get under that membrane, usually the shell will pop right on off. Okay? Now, I'm not going to tell you this is just going to be a breeze, because sometimes you may have one that's a little harder to get off than others. But see what I mean? I've gotten under that membrane in certain areas, and I can just peel the shell off. See, look here. When you get under it, it just pops right off. So it's not really hard at all to get off. Just make sure you get the little pieces that might be on there off. But I wash mine off real good to make sure I've got all them off. So I'm just going to transfer it over there in my strainer. And I'm going to do the rest of them. And that's all I do with my eggs. Sometimes I squeeze them like this to kind of break up the shell. And you can just pull it off. See there? And just pull it on off. Simple, huh? Alright. So there's that one. I've seen several different tricks. I've seen some on TikTok. I've seen some on Facebook of people getting these off. I've seen people blow on them. I'm going to tell you, I will not do that. Because I don't want egg all over my kitchen. I seen some girl do it one time, and she blew that out of there, and egg went flying. So I don't want to spend an hour cleaning up eggs and then having to boil more eggs, because the eggs that I did that to went in the floor. Alright, so there was that one. That one wasn't as pretty. But some of them, aren't as easy. I mean, that's just the way it is. But most of these come right off. I don't have really any trouble with getting my shell off. And I think I'm getting it in my floor, but I get it. But I make a mess. I mean, every time I cook, I usually make a mess, guys. That's just me. All right, that one's done. So it's going pretty quick because they're coming off really good. And I don't even have to worry about it. Look at there. That just popped right off for me. Good one. Okay. Boy, let's see if we can get the rest of these to do that, y'all. Look at here. See if we can get... Just let me pull this. There we go. We got it. But I'm telling you, the ice water and the salt, that is the best 2 little tricks in the world to get your peeling off your... Get your shell, I should say, off your eggs. Well, now this last one's going to be a problem, guys. See, I told you sometimes, no matter what you do, you can do all the tricks in the world. And sometimes there's just one or so in the batch that just don't work. It just gives you some trouble. All right, y'all. I'm going to wash these eggs off. And I probably put mine together a little different than what most people do. But I will be back here in just a second. Okay, guys, here we go. We're going to, I do mine a little different. My eggs, most people will take an egg and they'll dice it up, cut it up, and whatever. I don't do that. This is what I do. I take my mini food processor. I take an egg. I slice it in half. Don't have to be perfect. I just like to slice it down a little bit because it is a small food processor. And I put there's 2 eggs in there, but I'll show you. I just take a couple eggs. I put it in my mini food processor. I lock the lid in place. And I start chopping them up. And that's the way we like them. Now, there might be a few little pieces like this one here that's a little big, but because the food processor may not have gotten it because it was stuck to the side a little bit. And guys, I'm going to take this out. Take my blade out first. Make a mess, like I said earlier. That I always do. Just going to dump these into a bowl. And and tonight I just wanted to be simple and do something easy. So we're just the simpletons tonight because we're doing something simple. I know y'all probably gonna think I'm crazy, but anyway, let's go ahead and cut up another egg here so we can get this in the food processor. Okay, do these 2. And I'm going to go ahead and put one more in there. It can hold probably more than that, but I won't overwork it because it is a small one. And it doesn't chop up as good if you put too much stuff in these, it won't chop up as good. So. Piece of egg in there. Maybe it's just not a good idea to do that many then, but I have before, but sometimes some of them big pieces get caught. Got it. And we like it fine like this. Now, y'all may not like it fine that way, but we do. I just think it tastes good that way. I love to put it, with it being fine like this, I like to put it on crackers and even toast and just for wheat bread or whatever. You could do whatever you want to with it. And I've even made this egg salad with bacon before, and I have baked some bacon in the oven before, and I've crumbled it up real fine. And I put it in here before too, but we're not doing that tonight. By the way, my hands are clean, guys. Alright, let's cut this egg once again. Put that in there. But when I have egg salad, I usually do 10 eggs, but I lost that one, but that's alright. It'll still be plenty for us. All right, here we go. Okay, let's see where that's at. Like I said, you might get a few little bigger pieces, but no big deal. See, did good on that one too. And we're just going to, let me get that out. We're just going to dump it back in our bowl over here. Let that come out easy. That doesn't happen very often. Make my life easy that way. Okay, we got we got this one and one more. That's it. And we will be done with chopping our eggs. And see, it didn't take long at all. And actually, I think it's faster to do it this way. Some people don't, you know, everybody's different on what they like to do. But some people don't like to fool with getting their food processors down and cleaning them and all that. But now me, if it makes my life a little easier, I'm all about it. I'm on it. I'll get it down and use it every time. But okay. Now this can go here. So I have to be careful cleaning that because that thing is so sharp. I have been cut by that thing I don't know how many times, y'all. So you really got to be careful with these blades and these food processors, the mini ones, the big ones. It really doesn't matter. You just really got to be careful. All right. Okay, let's try to just scrape out what's left in here right quick. Okay, here we go. So I like to use a little bit of the minced garlic. So let me open this. Excuse me. And what I'm going to do is just use like a teaspoon, regular teaspoon out of my silverware drawer instead of getting measuring spoons. Stir that just a little bit. Okay. Sure ain't a bunch of water in it. And I'm going to get about, let me see, hold on a minute, because I'm going to be using garlic powder too. So I don't want to get a whole big bunch. Alrighty. So that's right about, it's a level, not even quite a level teaspoon. So there's not a whole lot there. Y'all can see how much I got there. Not a whole lot. Because I use, like I said, I use garlic powder too. And I don't want to kill it with, we love garlic, but I don't want to kill it with garlic either. So I don't want to add too much. All right, let me get, okay, so let's see here. I'm going to stir this garlic in real quick. Kind of blend it in with the eggs. I'm going to use some black pepper. Now, guys, these seasonings are to your taste. As you know, when I use seasonings, it's always to your taste because I can't tell you how much seasonings to put in this because everybody's taste is different. So this is something that will have to be to your taste. All right, some black pepper. We like black pepper, but I'm not going to put a whole big bunch in. But we've got quite a few eggs. I have to tap the bottom of mine to get it to come out. All right, that's good enough. We'll stir that one in. I stir each of these in separate. That way. All right, now I'm going to use some onion powder. I'm going to use a big bunch. Okay. Stir that in. Powder we're going to put in. But not a big bunch because we use some of the real garlic. That's what I call it. So let's stir this one in. Whew. Boy, that onion powder got up my nose and everything else. Don't you hate that when you're doing seasonings? Usually, you don't ever get that bad, but boy, it did that time. Just going to use some parsley flakes. Just a few. I hate that because sometimes I'd rather sneeze than to sit here and feel like I've got to sneeze, you know. Alright, now I'll stir this in. Make sure I get on the bottom of my bowl. Next, what I'm going to do is, let me put this away real quick. Give me just a second, y'all. On to the Miracle Whip. That's what I use. But you can use mayo if that's what you prefer. Let me get my seal off here. I know y'all probably may want to know how much of this I put in here. And what I will do is I'll try my best to measure this. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to start out with a half a cup at a time, or however much we need. So let's dip this out. That way it gives you, you guys a better idea of how much Miracle Whip if you want to follow this recipe. Or some people like a little less. It all depends on what your taste is too, really. What we're going to do is take this half a cup. I just wanted to make sure, kind of beat it on my counter to make sure it's right about a half. Make sure it went to the bottom. Alright, so we'll try half a cup, but I can about tell you now, that's not going to be enough. Because see, usually I guess at this, and I know about what I use. But I know you all probably, would like to know if there's someone out there that may like this recipe and want to follow it. So we're going to stir this in, but I'm thinking it's not going to be enough. No, not quite. Like I said, it depends on how you all like it. Because everybody likes their Excel a little different. So I'm going to require all that myself. So we're not going to add all this at one time. Yes. But I'm only going to do about half of this. And this is not quite a half a cup. It may look like it, but it's not. Alright, so we left about half in there. And then let's stir this in and see how this makes it. And I think that's going to be enough right there. We don't want to add no more. So really, guys, I'm going to say add a cup. And probably right about a fourth. Because if you add any more of that to 9 eggs, it's going to be it might be a little too creamy. But this right here is how we like ours, just like this. So, if you like a little more mayo or Miracle Whip, you go right ahead and add whatever you like. Hey, always remember one thing. If you don't, I'm sure a lot of you know this already. But if you don't know, remember, you can always add to, but you cannot take away. Guys, let me get a paper towel. I like to wipe the tops of my jars off before I put them back, just for the simple fact they get nasty sometimes on the top. That's just me. That's just what I do. So, all right. Pour this in together, or get it off the sides of the bowl. And now you can add some pickle relish to this if you like pickle relish in it, and which we do. I've got some, I think. Just a little bit of the pickle relish because it does give it a good flavor. So, and this is just the Vlasic sweet relish. And once again, I'm just going to get a teaspoon out of my drawer. And I'm just going to add about a teaspoon. Thereabout. Maybe, I don't want to get too much. About that much. Okay. So, we'll just, and sometimes I've added onion and stuff, but I'm not going to do that tonight. And instead of putting this in the refrigerator, I put mine in the freezer for just a little bit. Because if we want sandwiches quicker or whatever, just stick it in the freezer. And it'll get colder quicker than in the refrigerator. So just stir that pickle relish in good. And then you taste it. And then you see what you think. And if it don't taste right to you, or it tastes too bland, or you need more garlic or whatnot, get it out and throw it in there. And I'm going to taste it right now, but I'm also going to have my husband taste it that way because he's eating this too. And he can tell me if he thinks it needs anything. Boy, I think that's right. But I'll let him taste it and he can tell me what he thinks. So, hold on, guys. I'm going to let him taste it.
Head it out the door.
Okay. I think it's perfect. Unless you think it needs something else.
Tastes good to me.
All right, we're good to go then. Okay, guys, we're good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick this in the freezer like I said. I can't leave it in there very long because, of course, I don't want it to freeze on me because then it wouldn't be no good. So don't leave it in there too long because you don't want it to freeze on you because you will not be happy. Let me get my spatula cleaned off. With my, I can't find it. This whole thing is so good about stuff like this. Love it. Ooh, that seasoning is still getting to me. But I have allergies all year round. Okie doke. So, okay, guys, this is our homemade egg salad. And it's going to be very good. And like I said, we like it on just wheat bread, crackers, just whatever, y'all want to put it on. So I hope y'all have enjoyed this. And I know it was a little short video, and it was a pretty... I know it was a pretty simple recipe, but sometimes we just got to do simple, right? So sometimes we just don't feel like cooking up these big meals, at times, and we just want something simple. So anyway, I hope y'all have enjoyed. If you don't mind to go to Cheryl K's cooking page, I would greatly appreciate it, and my YouTube channel. And if you don't mind to like and subscribe there, I would appreciate it as well. So listen. Y'all stay safe out there, and always remember to keep God in your heart and God in your life. Bye.